Hello, welcome, namaste. My name is Babette. Thank you for being here and for practicing with me in my yoga classes. Today, I had a lot of fun with this one, quite twisty, nice heart opening as well. And think about when you get into the front of the body, a little bit of back bending. We really have to tap into our core, so we're also going to connect to that. Have a set of blocks nearby. You might need it, maybe not, but keep it handy. A little bit of water, towel perhaps, mainly your practice space, your mat. And then when you're ready, let's meet lying on your bellies, coming to face down. Make a pillow with your hands and rest your forehead on the back of your hands. Take your feet about as wide as the mat. And yet let's use the next couple of moments to let your breath settle into your back body, your lower rib cage. Relax your thighs into the ground and ease through your shoulders all the way down to the top of your feet. Then bend your knees and take a gentle windshield wiper side to side, just to release your lower back, massage your quads. Take a deep inhale through the nose and then side out. Next inhale, allow your legs to come back down to the ground. Lift your head and come onto your forearms, spinning your fingertips facing forward. And try to push through your elbows so you draw the weight into the upper legs. Swivel your left hand to the right like a kickstand, and then bend your right knee. Reach back for the big toe edge of your right foot. And then go for a nice pulse. And maybe looking for a deep inhale through the nose. And then side out. Carefully let that go. Switching sides, swivel your right hand then to the left. And reach your left hand back behind for the big toe edge of your left foot. A nice pulse, deep inhale through the nose. And side out. Let the tail go. Feet stay as wide as the mat. Draw your hands underneath your shoulders. Pulling your elbows back. Inhale, push into your palms. Come up into this wider legged upward cobra, your cobra pose. And then exhale, elbows back, belly down to the ground. Twice more. Inhale, coming up, rock the weight into the top of the legs. And then exhale, elbows bend back, pull your belly down to the ground. One more time, keep pulling your elbows back to rise up here, push through your palms. And then exhale, belly back down to the ground. Draw your legs a little closer together. Bend your right knee, your toes face up. Push into the mat, roll onto your left side, your right foot steps behind you, and come up to sit facing the back edge of your mat. Step your right foot over your left thigh and take your right hand behind your seat on the ground. Reach your left arm up. Exhale, go for your twist. That can be elbow, tricep, palm. Any variation will do, as it is still quite early. Deep inhale through the nose and side out. Next inhale, a counter twist to your left and then come back upright. Plant your left hand behind you. Step your right foot back to where you found it, uncrossing that ankle. Coming up into a rock star from the bottom up here. So outer blade, left foot down, ball of the right foot high. And then pivot on the ball of your left foot for a right down dog split. Send the leg all the way back into the sky. Feel free to then bend your right knee, open up the hip, find that big turn out. Circle through your right ankle clockwise, counterclockwise, maybe a gentle head bobble just to keep the neck relaxed. Next inhale, lengthen back through your right leg, face your toes down. Come forward into a one-legged plank pose, knit the ribs in. Take the top of your right foot onto the mat, top of the left foot. Dip the hips, find upward facing dog. And then exhale your downward facing dog. Maybe a little pedal out through the feet. So that really beautifully stretches the top of your feet and makes them strong. Let's do that last little bit twice more. Inhale, draw the big toes, touch center line and float your right leg all the way up to the sky. Come forward to that one-legged plank pose. Really engage your core. Top of the right foot onto the mat. Top of the left foot onto the mat. Finding your upward facing dog. And then exhale, downward facing dog. We'll go for one more. Inhale, float your right leg all the way up into the sky. Come forward, one-legged plank pose. Top of the right foot onto the ground. Top of the left foot. Upward facing dog. And then exhale, downward facing dog. Maybe a nice long sigh out. Next inhale, take your time, lift the heels, hips, ripple forward to plank pose. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog, push through your palms. And then exhale, downward facing dog. Find your breath. All right, going to put all that together into a bit of a spicy reverse vinyasa. Big toes touching and float your right leg all the way up into the sky. Come forward to that one-legged plank pose. Top of the right foot onto the mat. Top of the left foot. Find your upward facing dog. And this is where we'll switch things up. Use your core, tuck your toes. And Chaturanga, push up to plank to downward facing dog. And reconnect to your breath. On the next exhale, walk your hands back to your feet at the back of the mat. Finding your Uttanasana, forward fold, allow your head to drop. Inhale, a half lift, flat back, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, forward fold your Uttanasana. Going to go for two more pulses. Inhale, tabletop spine, rock the way in the front of your feet. And then exhale, forward fold. One more time, inhale that flat back. And exhale, forward fold over your legs. Push into your feet, engage your core. Inhale, both arms reach up, Urdhva Hastasana. And then exhale, hands to your heart. Finding your mountain pose, your Tadasana. Next inhale, both arms reach back up again, get a little longer. Exhale, forward fold over your legs, finding your Uttanasana. Heel toe your feet a little wider apart. Find a half lift, flat back. Take your right hand in front of your left foot. That can be palm down, tented fingers, maybe a fist. And then sweep your left arm up to the sky, a spinal twist. Bend your right knee as much as you wish. And then wrap your left lower arm around your lower back. Maybe even find that left inner hip crease. Nope, that's your right inner hip crease. Keep the arm wrapped around your lower back as you turn your chest to face down. And then look down. And if you want to, hook your chin around your right shoulder for a double twist. Deep inhale through the nose. Side out. Next inhale, turn your chest to face the left again. Left arm sweeps up, and an exhale, lower the left hand down, forward fold. A half lift to re-lengthen. Exhale, plant your left palm in front of your right foot, tented fingers, fist or block, right arm sweeps up. And then bend that left knee if you wish. Wrap your right lower arm around your lower back, maybe find that left inner hip crease, got it right this time. And then turn your chest to the down, face down. Look down and perhaps hook your chin around your left shoulder. Deep inhale through the nose. And side out. On the next inhale, face your chest back to the right. Sweep your right arm up. And then exhale, lower the right hand down, forward fold. Heel toe your feet back underneath you, a half lift. Exhale, walk it forward to your plank pose. Once your shoulders are over the wrist, lower down, Chaturanga Dandasana. To your upward facing dog. And then exhale to your downward facing dog. And come back to your breath. Next inhale, big toes touching, float your right leg all the way up into the sky. Exhale, lightly step that foot to the outside of your right hand. Coming onto palms, tented fingers, or perhaps grab your blocks. Inhale, look forward, push through the left heel. And exhale, lengthen through your right leg. Allow your head to drop, but the leg doesn't have to straighten. Twice more. Inhale, or rebend the knee, bring your weight forward. And then exhale, lengthen through, allow your head to completely drop. One more time. Inhale, weight comes forward, push through that back heel, look forward. And then exhale, lengthen through your right leg, head drops. Stay here for a moment. Maybe flex your right foot, draw the toes towards you, peeling them off the ground. And you can spice it up by pulling your right hip a bit further back, and then maybe look forward in those opposite directions of dynamics, and you might feel extra spice in the hemi stretch. On the inhale, rebend your right knee, plant the foot down, pivot your left heel to the right, and come up into your warrior one. You're going to be a little bit over to your right, but that's all right. Find your feet, outer blade, pinky toe edge of your left foot, push it down, please. Go for opposite elbows overhead, maybe kind of remind yourself the grip that you have here, which arm is on top and which one is on the back. On the next inhale, pivot on the ball of your left foot, find a little wider high lunge. Maybe take a gentle pulse here, just to kind of ease into the front of that back leg. And then on the exhale, keep your arms overhead, step the left foot forward next to the right top of the mat, and find the center line of your mat here. Try to draw the ribs in. As you pull your elbows back, you're going to get into a ferocious shoulder opener. And then carefully, one after the other, come to stand on your shins, take your knees down to the ground. You can tuck your toes if you want. On the inhale, circle your right fingertips to your right heel and reach your left arm up to the sky. And then switch sides, kind of go for a windmill here. You can lean back as far as you want. Think more about this as a core activation all the way from not just the front of the body, but also the back of the body. So you're twisting and circling here through your core, obliques, and not so much thinking back bend or heavy back bend. Intuitive movement, go for one more round, follow your breath. And then on the next inhale, let's reach both arms up to the ceiling, push through the shins, tops of the feet. Exhale, hands come down in front of you, tuck your toes, and go for a baby hop to the front. Find a half lift, flat back, and then exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come all the way up, Urdhva Hastasana, and then exhale, hands to the heart. Next inhale, both arms reach all the way up overhead. Exhale, forward fold, dive over your legs. A half lift, flat back. You can take a step back, a jump back, or skip. Upward facing dog, maybe cobra. And then exhale, downward facing dog. Stay with your breath. On the next inhale, we'll rest a little bit differently today. Come forward to plank pose. And then lower all the way down onto your belly through Chaturanga. Untuck your toes, make a pillow with your hands. Rest your forehead on the back of your hands. And just take a moment to, as quickly as possible, find complete conscious relaxation in your body. Maybe a deep inhale through the nose. Side out. Next inhale, lift your head off your hands. Draw your hands underneath your shoulders, elbows back. Bend your left knee, your toes will face up. Roll onto your right side. Step that left foot behind you. Come up and have a seat facing the back of your mat. Then step that left foot over your right thigh and take your left hand behind your seat on the ground. Reach your right arm up and exhale, twist. So I call that the superhero on your heart. Keep your heart wide open. Maybe flex your right foot here and draw the toes toward you. Next inhale is a counter twist to your right, just to negate that. And then come back upright. Uncross left ankle from right leg. Right hand goes behind your seat on the ground, rock star from the ground up. So you can take that beautiful side waist opening stacked, or maybe roll it up a little bit more towards the ceiling. Then spin around into your left down dog split. Spread through the toes. Bend the left knee, open hip, and give your ankle a nice whirl in the sky. Just make sure that you're not holding your head up. Next inhale, straighten back through your left leg, face your toes down. Come forward to a one-legged plank pose. Really fire up your core. Take the top of the left foot onto the mat, top of the right foot. Hips dip, come forward to up dog, and then exhale, downward facing dog. You can always take your feet out wider apart to give you more space in your lower back for this little drill. Stay here or twice more. Inhale, big toes touching, float your left leg all the way up. Come forward to your one-legged plank pose. Take the top of the left foot onto the ground, top of the right foot. Dip your hips, come into your upward facing dog, and then exhale, downward facing dog. One more time. Inhale, float that left leg all the way up. Come forward, one-legged plank. Top of the left foot down, top of the right foot down, finding your upward facing dog, and then exhale, downward facing dog. So that switches things up a little bit. Sometimes when I'm running a little low on energy on a regular vinyasa, I tend to do that instead of chaturanga, lowering down. But not in this moment. Inhale if you wish, come forward to plank. Let's go for that chaturanga dandasana. Upward facing dog. And then exhale, downward facing dog. Okay, I'm going to put it all together with that little extra spice. Big toes touching, float your left leg all the way up. Come forward to your one-legged plank pose. Top of the left foot down, top of your right foot down, up dog. Switching things up here, use your core. Tuck your toes. Chaturanga, push up to your plank to downward facing dog. Deep inhale through the nose. Maybe side out. Next exhale, walk your hands back to your feet, back on the mat. Finding your Uttanasana, your forward fold. One pulse, a half lift, flat back, tabletop. And an exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come all the way up, Urdhva Hastasana, your up hands pose. And then exhale, hands to the heart. Take your feet a little wider than inner hips width apart. On the inhale, reach both arms up to the ceiling or the sky. Take your hands to your lower back, fingertips up or down, and just pull your elbows back to the wall behind you. That is a supported back bend, and it's enough. I'm going to look a little bit deeper into your standing Anahata. Start to turn your heart, your chest up towards the ceiling. Create space in the upper back, low back. Then perhaps let the head drop and maybe bring the hips a little bit further forward. You can always heel toe the feet a bit wider. Go for another breath. Maybe check out the wall behind you. And then exhale to come up and over forward fold. Maybe run the hands along the back of your legs. Give yourself a massage on the way down. A half lift flat back on the inhale. Feel free to heel toe your feet back together. Exhale, walk that forward to plank pose, and then once your shoulders are over the wrist, take your chaturanga or ashtangasana, knees, chest, and chin, to your downward facing dog. Next, inhale, draw your big toes to touch and float your left leg all the way up into the sky. Exhale, lightly step that foot to the outside of your left hand. Feel free to come onto your palms, tented fingers, fists, or blocks. Push through your right heel, try to look forward. And then exhale, lengthen through the left leg, allow your head to drop. 2 more pulses. Inhale, we bend, look forward. Exhale, allow the leg to lengthen, hips draw back, especially the left. One more time, inhale, weight comes forward. And then exhale, allow it to lengthen. Stay here for a beat. You can flex your left foot, toes come towards you. And again, the opposite, you look forward and draw your left hip back. Maybe deep inhale through the nose. Side out. Next inhale, plant that left foot back down, knee bends, pivot the right heel to the left. Set yourself up for your warrior one feet as you come up into your warrior one. Drawing the right side of your torso forward while you pull the left hip back and anchor yourself down to the pinky toe edge of your right foot. Opposite elbows overhead so you can switch your clasp if you remember. Try not to stick your ribs out in order to make this happen. So drawing the tailbone down, ribs knit in will get you up possibly a little further into the shoulder opener. Then pop into the ball of your right foot. Find that little wider half lunge. Maybe a bit of a pause with your breath. And then on the exhale, step that right foot forward to the front of your mat. And you might need to find the center line as you are off to the left. Notice if you're arcing here, again, knit the ribs in, draw the tailbone forward, then pull the elbows back. Opposite shin, if you remember, come to stand on your shins. And then take your time to circle your left fingertips to the left heel, right arm up. Maybe you want to go for a little further back bend. Switching sides, right fingertips to right heel. Maybe go for that half Ustrasana, half camel, or just the windmill, which is lovely too. Go for another round or so. Again, quite an intuitive movement. Do what feels good as you stay connected to your core. Next inhale, both arms reach up. Exhale, hands in front of your knees. Tuck your toes. Go for a baby hop to the front, a half lift, flat back. And then exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come all the way up, find your Urdhva Hastasana. And then exhale, hands to the heart. Inhale, arms reach back up. Get super duper long. And follow your exhale over your legs, forward fold, Uttanasana. A half lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, your step back, jump back, float back. Upward facing dog or your cobra to your downward facing dog. Find a breath cycle in and out of your nose. Feel free to maybe take a big breath out, sigh out through the mouth. And then please take a brief child's pose or sit up on your shins. A little side note, if you like a block for your half moon pose, feel free to take that to the back edge of your mat as you're gonna be probably needing it if you like a block for your half moon pose. Be moving around the mat a little bit. Next, inhale, all fours, hands and knees. Exhale, downward facing dog. Next, inhale, draw your big toes to touch back of the mat and float your right leg all the way up into the sky. Exhale, draw the right knee up into your nose. Big cat spine, shoulders over the wrist. Inhale, one-legged plank, so lengthen through your spine and shoot your right leg back. Exhale, right knee to nose, cat spine. Inhale, right down dog split all the way back. Exhale, step that right foot through between your hands and rise up into a high crescent lunge. 4 directions, reaching up, pushing down through your feet. Right shin pushes forward, left heel pushes back. Exhale, hands to your heart. Core twist you to the right. Feel free to go for the elbow, tricep hook. Take your time to work your hands by your heart. Keep pushing through your back heel. Constantly reminding myself, get longer, longer, longer. And if at all possible, relax the bottom of your right foot all the way into your toes. Stay low for balance. Open up to warrior two over your right leg. Left heel pivots down. So you can bring your heart right in the center of your pelvis so you're not reaching too far forward or too far back. Let's flip your front palm and go for a reverse warrior here. Stay in your lunge, straighten through the right arm. Maybe lighten that bottom arm. And exhale, Trikonasana, triangle pose Going up and over just to give that right leg a break. Before we focus on that bottom hand, maybe look up, stacking left wrist over left shoulder so you get that beautiful side waist opening as you allow your inner thighs to zip together. It can help by pushing into the right big toe mount and anchoring your tailbone to your back heel. Imagination, of course. On the inhale, come up, push through your feet. Exhale, Skandasana over your left leg, back of the mat. Low lateral lunge. That can be hands to heart, kickstands per usual. You can go as low as you want or come up as high as you want. Turning up and over your left leg, half moon pose, facing the back of the mat. Right leg float. Take a moment to fiercely reach up, stack right hip over the left. Try not to hyperextend in the lower back or arc in the back. Draw the tailbone underneath you. And then maybe take your left hand up to your heart. Keep reaching up. Keep your gaze wildly steady and your breath fluid. On the exhale, your hands come down. Internally rotate your right leg and you're in a standing split. Look at your right foot in the sky. I got two options for you here. You can just swap out your legs. Take your right foot down, left foot up, and you're in a standing split. Or if you want to go for a scissor kick switch in the sky, coming on the ball of your left foot, and then switch out your legs in the sky. Eventually, your right foot is down and left foot is up. Exhale, giant step back with that left foot, and you're in a runner's lunge. Tended fingers work fine. Plant the left palm into the ground and inhale, turn all 10 toes to your right. Boomerang twist and just keep going to your right like a corkscrew. And then as you face forward, find the center of your mat, stepping that right foot over your left thigh. We were here before. Let's go for perhaps a deeper twist. Right hand behind you, reach your left arm up. Exhale, go for twist number 2 on this side. Actually, number 3. Maybe if you want to go for bind the left hand, snakes underneath the right thigh. Maybe go for peace fingers, wrist, or hand towel. But try to stay on top of your butt bones and keep pulling your collarbones wide. Maybe even flex your left foot. Deep inhale through the nose. Side out. Let's carefully release binds, counter twist to your left, and just keep going to your left. So coming onto your forearms, turn the pinky toe edge of your left foot to the ground, face your right toes forward. And if you explore a bit of a cow spine and arcing, you might get a little bit deeper into the back and the twist. Stay here. Or for baby grasshopper, walk your hands back underneath your shoulders. Then you want to grab your pinky toe edge of your left foot with your right hand. Reach in front of your right shin. Thumb faces back. Stepping into your right foot. Push into the left palm to maybe lift off. And then push your booty back. Heart forward. And then take your time to come back into your seat. Facing forward. Draw the bottom of your right foot to the inner left thigh. Option 1, that is your Janu Shirshasana setup. Option 2, take the pinky toe edge of your right foot into the left inner hip crease. Make sure you face the right knee down. And then you can wrap that right lower arm around your lower back. Maybe find the big toe. Reach one or both arms up if you're not in the half lotus. Both arms. And then fold over your left leg. So just a moment to breathe into your back body. Maybe deep inhale through the nose. Side out. Next inhale brings you back up. Plant your hands behind you, fingertips facing your seat. Plant your feet in front of you, knees bent. Go for a reverse tabletop here. Push through your palms. Now stay as you are, but rise onto your tippy toes and walk your feet underneath you to your hands. Weight comes forward, knees touch down, toes stay tucked. Grab your heels and open up into Ustrasana, camel pose. Remember, chest goes up to the ceiling, then the hips come forward. And if you want to let the head drop, let the head drop. Hold on to the heels or the ankles. Stay with your breath. And then on the inhale, both arms reach up. Keep your toes tucked, hands come down in front of your knees. Push the ground away, lift your bum, knees face out, and walk your hands back until you're scooping your kneecaps with your armpits. Feel free to look forward and apply this to your crow pose, Bakasana. Bring your big toes to touch, heels lift. A step back, a jump back. Maybe the crown of the head touches down, and take it into your tripod, your Shirshasana C. Keep your legs together, very steady gaze. Now if you're in your tripod, you can take it back to crow. I personally like to teeter my legs down 90 degrees and then go for your jump back, upward facing dog, to your downward facing dog. Deep inhale through the nose, side out. And take that breath cycle if you can, in and out. And then take a beat, child's pose, or sit up on your shins. Awesome. So keep that block at the back edge of your mat for our second side. Next inhale, all fours, hands and knees. Exhale, down dog. If you want a vinyasa, take it. Feel free to throw one in there or just breathe in your downward facing dog. Next inhale, big toes touching center line. Flow your left leg all the way up into the sky. Exhale, left knee to nose, big cat spine, shoulders over the wrists. Inhale, one-legged plank, lengthen through the spine, turn your gaze down. Exhale, left knee to nose. Inhale, a left down dog split. Exhale, step the left foot through between your hands. As you find the sole of that left foot spreading, come up into your high crescent lunge. Steady, easy breath. Exhale, hands to your heart, twisting to your left. Again, it's an art form, nothing you really want to rush through. So imagine that you're creating all this space across your collarbones, pushing through your back heel, and then find all your breath in your lower back. Relax the left foot, especially the toes. One more breath. Use your next inhale as you stay low to open up to your warrior two. Over your left leg, just let that leg sink for a moment. And arms on the horizon. Flip your front palm up, reverse warrior. Try again to straighten through that top arm. And then exhale, Trikonasana, triangle pose. Really thinking up and over. Take your time as you're kind of melting, blossoming open into this shape. Bottom head can always go lower, absolutely, if you want to, not a necessity. Maybe take it to the outside of the calf or the ankle. And so you can maybe look up. You can always look onto the horizon or down if that feels better in the neck. Using your feet, your core, inhale, come up. Exhale, Skandasana over your right leg, low lateral lunge. Hands to the heart. Maybe those kickstands, perhaps try to look forward if you can. And then turning up and over your right leg, half moon pose, facing the back of the mat. Your right toes will face forward. Float your left leg up, left arm up. So again, find that stacking, left hip over right, tailbone curls underneath you. And you might find that it's a lot easier to tap into your core that way. And perhaps then if you want to, draw your right hand up to your heart and keep your gaze so steady, nothing can disturb it. On the exhale, both hands come down, internally rotate that left leg and you're in a standing split. The left foot is up, right foot is down. Just let your head drop. Check out that left foot in the sky. Again, we have those options. Take your left foot down, right foot up. Boom, done. Allow that to be done. Or maybe if you want to explore the scissor kick switch, go for that switch in the sky. Left foot is up, right foot is down. Then a giant step back with your right foot into a runner's lunge. Plant your right palm into the ground. Inhale, all 10 toes to the left, boomerang twist. And keep going to your left like that corkscrew until you're facing forward. Keep that left foot over your right thigh. Take your left hand behind your seat. Inhale, right arm up. And exhale, find your twist. You can stay here as is, plenty, beautiful. Maybe try the bind, but just it's a finding. As I said with any twist, never finding a forcing to make it happen. You can always grab a hand towel if that helps. Maybe flex your right foot towards you. Deep inhale through the nose. Side out. And then use your next inhale to release that. Take yourself counter twist to the right. Walk your hands away from you until you are on your forearms. Turn the pinky toe edge of your right foot to the ground and face your left toes into the direction of the long edge of your mat to your right. Maybe stay here. Otherwise, your left hand goes to the pinky toe edge of your right foot. Your thumb reaches back. Press into your right hand, step into the left foot, and maybe lift your seat off the ground as you pull your heart forward and through for a baby grasshopper. And then take your seat back down to the ground. Find the middle of your mat. Slide the bottom of your left foot to the inner right thigh, aka that Janu Shirshasana head to knee pose setup, or the half lotus, the Ekapada Baddha Paschimottanasana variation. Make sure you face the left knee down. Wrap the left arm around the low back if you want. One arm or both arms up, and then exhale, forward fold. Allow your head to drop. Breathe into your lower back. Maybe a nice long inhale through the nose. Side out. Next inhale brings you back up. Hands go behind your seat, fingertips facing towards you. Plant your feet in front of you. Knees bent. We'll go for one more reverse tabletop here. Push your palms, such a challenging shape. And then come onto your tippy toes. Walk your feet underneath you towards your hands. Your weight rocks forward, your knees touch down. You grab your ankles and then you lift yourself off into your camel number, I believe 4 at this point. If you want a deeper back bend, maybe walk your hands to the inner knee creases. But whatever you do, do it with your breath. And on the inhale, reach both arms up to the ceiling. Exhale, hands down in front of you. Tuck your toes and go for a baby hop to the front, a half lift, and then exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come all the way up. And then exhale, hands to your heart. Take a moment, maybe allow your feet to be about as wide as the mat. And feel free to have a sip of water if you want. We're going to go into a final standing wave. Draw your weight into your left foot and draw the right knee up into your chest. Just maybe lean back a little bit just so you don't bring your weight all too much forward. We want to have that counterbalance. Stay here. Or first 2 fingers, right hand, peace fingers. Go around the right big toe. Bring yourself upright as quickly as you can. Left hand to the hip or left arm up over your head by your ear. Any choice will do. So you can kick your right heel a little or a lot or all the way forward. Now think lengthening from your right butt bone to your right heel in one plane and one line. Maybe draw the tailbone down to make that happen. You can keep the right leg straight or bend the knee if you need to find the pinky toe edge of your right foot with your left hand, and then reach your right arm all the way back for your Uttita Hasta Padangusthasana C. And if you want to, bend your right knee and just hold onto the outside of your right leg with your left hand. Keep reaching back. Keep the pinky toe edge of your right foot as you step the right foot down. Right hand underneath your shoulder. If you don't have the pinky toe edge, take the left hand underneath your shoulder. Step your left foot 3 feet back behind you. There's about a 45-degree outward turn in that left foot. Keep that left hand where it is, or on the inside or outside of your right foot. Draw your right hip back and reach your right arm up to the sky for Parivrtta Trikonasana. You can always try to level out your hips a bit, lifting the left hip, drawing the right hip back. It's going to give you a bit of a deeper twist and definitely more spice in the hamstring opener. Breath, breath, breath. And then lower your right hand down, fold over your right leg, release the right foot, take your pyramid pose here, head drops. Make sure that left heel is on the ground. As you look at your left leg, reach your arms back, interlace your fingers around the back of your left knee, and then push that left heel down. And then try to touch your nose to your right knee and find the biggest cat spine you got. Carefully releasing that on the next inhale. Hands come down, fingertips facing away from you. I like to tent my fingers. You can take your hands on blocks if you want. We'll have a look at a humble flamingo variation here. As you pop on the ball of the left foot, the heel lifts. Bend the left knee. As you look forward, your booty draws back, and then float your right leg off the ground. Maybe walk your hands a bit further back. Then cross your right leg over the left. Weight comes forward so the foot is down. Eagle squat, very challenging balance. Take left arm over right. Hug, half or full eagle wrap. And then come up to stand. Step into that right foot, tricky transition. Find the middle of your mat because you're probably over to the left. On the inhale, reach your right arm by your side, let it hang. Left hand reaches back, thumb up, and go for the big toe edge of your left foot. Kiss your inner knees together, knit the ribs in, reach your right arm up. This is enough. Maybe you want your dancer's pose, Natarajasana, either reaching all the way forward. Maybe you want to stay reaching up for a bit of a deeper back bend, but wherever you are, push and pull, and try not to externally rotate that left hip, but keep facing the left hip bone forward. Next inhale, come back upright. Cross left over right, eagle wrap, single eagle wrap. Right arm over left, hug, half or full. And then stick your booty way, way out. Deep hip flexion, spine is long. Now I've got 2 options for you. If you want to arm balance, stay here. Option 2 then would be hands down, left toes down, right shin down, underneath you have a seat. Otherwise, from your eagle squat, take both hands over to your left. From an upward flight here, maybe into your cross-legged side crow. And then perhaps you want to scissor out your legs for Kundanyasana 1. And then bend your knees, draw them back in, and land in that seated twist setup. We already twisted quite a few times, so just take your hands over to your right, push into the ground, turn around, 360 right foot, finding Malasana, facing the back of the mat. Hands to your heart, deep inhale through the nose. Side out. Next inhale, hands down, hips up, face your toes forward. Maybe go for a ragdoll here, a little sway. And then let your hands come back down. Heel toe your feet back underneath you, half lift. So depending on where you are on the mat, you can walk it back, walk it forward. Go for your vinyasa of your choice once your shoulders are over the wrists. To your downward facing dog. We're gonna make sure we turn back around to the front of the mat, so please bring your big toes to touch and float your right leg all the way up into the sky. Exhale, draw your right lower leg underneath you as if you're about to take pigeon pose. Then rock your way to your right booty, but you turn to your left as you keep going until you face forward. Now feel free to grab your blocks, they might come in handy. Grab your right lower leg between your hands and maybe take one block to each side of your hips. Give it a bit of a cradle, bit of a rock. Take your right lower leg over your right shoulder. If you are like, yeah, you're funny, but that's not happening, take it over the upper arm. It's actually harder, I find. Feel free to curl your tailbone forward to really hug the inner thigh into the outside of your right torso. Plant your hands by your hips, point through your toes. So for your elephant trunk pose, draw your hips back, push through the palms so you can float, and then take your seat back down to the ground. We'll take this into a revolved sundial, Parvrita Suryantrasana. The left hand goes to the pinky toe edge of your right foot. Rock back a bit. You want to sit on the fleshy part of your seat above your butt bones. Right hand goes to the pinky toe edge of your left foot. Maybe this is enough. Or start to straighten through your legs until your chest open to the left. Stay balancing on that fleshy part of your seat. And then take your time to draw that left lower leg down in front of you. Right lower leg on top for double pigeon. You can always stack right ankle in front of left for your Sukhasana. So staying up, beautiful. Or perhaps you want to fold over your legs as you take your forehead to the back of your hands. And take a breath. Deep inhale through your nose, side out. Next inhale brings you back up. Plant your hands behind you, fingertips to your seat. Lengthen your legs out long beside one another on the heels. And then try to come up into reverse plank pose. Bring the big toes down to touch it well. Maybe let the head drop, very challenging. And then lower your seat back down. Cross your ankles, come over your shins, a step back. Maybe a jump back. Upward facing dog or cobra to your down dog. Deep inhale through the nose, side out. And then let's travel forward to the front of the mat, big toes touching. You can take your shoulders over the wrists. Look forward as you squat back, step or jump. Half lift, flat back, and then exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come all the way up. And then exhale, hands to the heart. All right, I'm gonna switch sides. You stay where you are. On the inhale, draw the left knee up into the chest. Find that superhero in your heart. When you're ready, peace fingers of your left hand around your left big toe, right hand to the right hip, coming up right or right arm reaching up. Find the bicep by your ear. You can take chin mudra, index finger to thumb. This is enough, or start to kick that left heel forward for your Tita Hasta Padangusthasana A. Steady, steady gaze. Gosh, I cannot stress that enough. One more breath. And then keep the legs straight if you want to. Right hand reaches to the pinky toe edge of your left foot. And then reach your left arm all the way back. You can bend the left knee and hold on to the outside of the left leg, left thigh with your right hand. But commit to any of your choices. Keep the pinky toe edge of the left foot if you can. As you start to look forward and down, step the left foot down next to the right. Left hand underneath your shoulder. Maybe right hand underneath your shoulder. Step your right foot 3 feet back. Roughly 45-degree outward in that back foot. Make sure your heel is down. Draw your left hip back as you turn your chest to the left Reach your left arm up, revolve triangle pose. Or perhaps take that right hand on the block. But again, breath, breath, breath. Awesome. All right, lower your left hand back down and release your left foot, fold over. Let your head drop so you can look at your right leg. Reach your hands back behind you. Interlace your fingers around the back of your right knee. And then push that right heel down. You actually feel a bit of a stretch happening, hopefully in your lower back. To increase that, turn the knee to a left nose. No. Turn your nose to your left knee. LOL. And then find that big, big, big cat spine. Breath, breath, breath. As you carefully let that go, hands come down, fingertips facing away from you. Maybe take your hands on blocks, that can help. We'll look at that humble flamingo variation. Pop on the ball of your right foot, the knee bends, heel lifts. Push into your fingerprints to rock your booty back. Look forward, you're sitting on your right heel. And then float your left leg off the ground. Maybe walk your hands back a bit. Step that left leg over the right, rock the weight forward so the left foot is down. Coming all the way here into your eagle squat, the right arm over left, hug half or full. And then coming up to stand when you are ready as you push into that left foot. Find the center of your mat. Inhale, sweep your left arm by your side, right arm reaches back, thumb up. Go for the big toe edge of your right foot as you bend the knee. Remember to kiss the knees, ribs in, left arm up. This is enough. If you want to, Natarajasana, again, you can reach forward. You can stay up as you want. And then thinking, pushing that right foot into the right hand, and you're pulling on it simultaneously. Steady gaze. And then take your time to come back up. Right leg over left, eagle wrap, and then left arm over right, hug half or full. Gotta stick your seat out to find that hip flexion. Pull your heart forward, maybe feel that length in your spine. Belly to right thigh, both elbows to the outer right thigh for your twist here. And so you can touch your right toes down, hands come down in front of you, left shin down. Or both hands over to your right. You can take that flight from above, cross-legged side crow. And then maybe scissor out your legs, Kundanyasana 1. But make sure that you bend your knees, draw them in. And then underneath you as you have a seat, facing forward. We already twisted many, many times, so we're just going to take our hands to the left, push into the ground, turn over your left shoulder and find Malasana facing the back of your mat. Hands to your heart, deep inhale through the nose, side out. Then let the hands come down, hips come up, face your toes forward. Maybe a yogi toe lock around both toes. Bend your elbows to the side to fold over your legs. Head drops. And then let that go. A half lift, heel toe, feet back underneath you. Walk it forward, walk it back, depending on where you are. Go for your plank. Chaturanga, knees, chest and chin. Your choice. To your downward facing dog. Let's make sure we turn this around to the front of the mat. Draw your big toes to touch and float your left leg all the way up. Exhale, draw the shin underneath you as if you're about to take that pigeon pose. Your booty drops to your left, you turn to your right, keep going until you're facing forward. Feel free to snatch your blocks and take one to each side of your hips. Grab your left lower leg, give it a cradle, give it a rock. And then see if you can take that left lower leg over your left shoulder. Again, you can let it hang over the left upper arm. It will make your elephant trunk pose a whole lot more challenging. So I like to point to the toes. It keeps me connected to my legs. Hands by your hips, draw your elbows back, and then maybe draw the hips back to see if you can find some hang time. And then lower your seat back down to the ground. Keep that left leg where it is. Right hand goes to the pinky toes of your left foot. As you lean back, and maybe this is where you want to be today. Find that fleshy part of your seat, above your butt bones. Bend your right knee. Grab the pinky toes of the right foot with the left hand. Pulse a little bit. And then make sure you roll your chest to the right. Peek underneath the armpit. Maybe pulse. Maybe play. Oops, so challenging. Nice. And then let's take that right lower leg down in front. Left lower leg on top. Double pigeon, Agni Stambhasana, fire log pose, or left ankle in front of right. Stay up or find a forward fold. You can always place a block in front of your legs and let your head rest on a block or two blocks. And deep inhale through the nose. And maybe side out. Using your inhale to come upright. Let's go for that reverse plank one more time. Legs long in front of you, heels on the ground, hands behind you. Pushing your big toes down if you can. Push the palms, maybe the head drops. And then bring your seat back down to the ground. Let's swivel your legs out to one side, and we'll have a look at one more camel pose. Maybe walk it a bit further forward. You can tuck your toes. You can take blocks by your heels. I always like to start by reaching up, hands to the lower back, fingertips up or down. Pull your elbows back. And maybe this is literally plenty. Perhaps you want to take your hands to your heels, ankles, inner knees. Or perhaps you want to reach all the way back. Maybe let the hands come down. And then you can tuck your chin and perhaps open up into your Virasana, Supta Virasana. Or from your camel, come to sit on your heels. Or perhaps lower all the way down into that Supta Virasana. Big stretch for the top of the feet as we did at the beginning. Maybe side out. Alright, if you're in Supta Virasana, take your hands to your heels. Work your way back up. If you were sitting on your heels, beautiful. Let's all just swivel our feet out to one side. And then come to lie on your back. Might be nice to windshield wiper. Maybe you want to take just a hugging in of the shins, the knees, happy baby to negate the back bend. I always like to end in Supta Baddha Konasana, that reclining butterfly, one hand to heart, one to belly. As always, if you want a plow or shoulder stand, take it. Maybe a deeper back bend. As we're getting ready to move in and towards our Shavasana. And I'll just set ourselves up for a bit of sound here. So make sure you get comfortable and you're ready to take your Shavasana. practicing with me. Have a wonderful rest of your day, evening, whenever you're practicing, and I'll be back soon.